Hey guys, I wanted to make another video mostly about dysphoria and pronouns. Um, so dysphoria is kind of like things that you're really uncomfortable with or things that you want to change about yourself. Um, so like for me, I'm dysphoric about mostly like my hips. And my like lack of muscles and sometimes my voice. Even though my voice has changed a lot on testosterone, um, a lot in the past 8 or 9 months. I used to have like a really high squeaky voice um, compared to now. So for me, sometimes when I get talking to someone, like my voice will go like squeaky, not squeaky, but like not like right now. Like my voice sounds like crackly, deepish right now. So when I get excited or talk to someone, it'll kind of go like, oh yeah, like super like not girly, but like it just makes me uncomfortable. So that's something I'm dysphoric with. And a lot of stuff like on my body, like the lack of muscles, like seeing guys with like huge shoulders and six pack abs, whatever. Um, so that's something that I wish was different on me, but I'm not even a year on testosterone yet, so hopefully my body is still changing. It takes a long time for things to change, so yeah, I just have to deal with that. Um, my pronouns. So I came out on Facebook on National Coming Out Day a couple months ago, and I had said that, I was on testosterone for I think 5 months then, and that whatever pronouns people were comfortable with, I would be okay with. And at the time, that was true. Um, going further into transitioning, um, it's become a lot harder to deal with female pronouns, I guess. Um, my voice changed. I'm getting facial hair. My body language is, it's more male, and I feel more male. Um, yeah, I feel like a male. And that's not something I've always known or thought I would ever, come out as. So that's really difficult for me to deal with. If I don't know someone, like if I'm working at the hospital and I'm working with a patient and they view me as a male, and that doesn't bother me, but it's new to get used to. Like, I want to be perceived as a male. And that's great, but it's still, I'm 24 years old, so growing up using female pronouns, I'm just used to, but now that I'm into my transition, it's hard to hear. Female pronouns, it's hard to hear, and it makes me uncomfortable because it makes me feel like I'm not as changed as I thought I was. So female pronouns make me very uncomfortable, so I'm slowly telling people, to use male pronouns around me. And that's not the easiest thing in the world to do. You don't realize how many people you are around each day or how many people you know. So that's something that's really hard to deal with on a comfort level. So hopefully, eventually people will get, used to viewing me as a male and using male pronouns, and hopefully things will go smoothly. So, um, my family's great with it. Pretty much anything that I say, they'll go with. So that makes me feel really great. Sorry, my dog. Um, yeah, my family's very supportive. Um, as long as I'm happy, they'll be happy. So, I do go to therapy like every 2 weeks. You know, I'm planning on getting top surgery, which top surgery is uh, for a female, a double mastectomy. So they remove the breast tissue and the gland, so you won't, your chest won't come back. Um, but insurance requires a year of not gender therapy, but therapy in general, because you need a letter stating that you've been the gender um, you wish to be, pretty much. Just so when they're making sure that you're not getting a surgery that you're gonna be like, I don't want this anymore, you know. So you have to go through that for a year, um, and they require 18 months on hormones, which I'll be well into by, next January, hopefully. Um, Another insecurity, which is on a daily basis, using the restrooms. Um, that's actually been something that has always been hard for me to do, because I've pretty much always had short hair. In high school, probably my sophomore, freshman year, I cut it. I've dressed the same since forever. So using the restroom, using the female restrooms is so uncomfortable, especially now, because like if I open my mouth, or they see my facial hair, they're like, what are you doing? Like, get out of the women's room, you're a guy. So I don't use the female restrooms at all. The men's room is super great. um, Hardly anybody's ever in there, but knowing who I am and knowing I'm trans going into the bathroom, I feel like they're staring at me, even though they're not. You know, um, it's just like you always have that worry that someone's gonna say something, or someone's gonna beat you up or something. But in all honesty, like, nobody cares. Like, the guys, like, don't care. Like, they walk in, they pee, they leave. You know, so that's good. But it's still so nerve-wracking to like walk into the bathroom and like worry that there's not gonna be a stall or something like that, and worry somebody's gonna call me out for it. That's never happened. It's just in the back of your head, like, all the time. So, if we're like out at a restaurant with my friends, like, I'll have to watch the bathroom to see if anybody's in there, and I don't want to do that, but I feel like I have to, just for my safety. So that's on a daily basis. Like, if we go shopping, I'm like, oh great, what if I have to go to the bathroom and like, stalk the bathroom forever? So that's something that makes me really uncomfortable. Um, and hopefully that gets easier as things go, you know. But it's always been like that, so I don't know if that will ever change. Um, and It gives me a lot of anxiety. um, I'm an anxious person. Thankfully, it's gotten a lot better, like a lot better. I don't even remember the last time I had an anxiety attack. It was probably like 5 months ago or something. Um, but being out in public, like if we go to a bar and I have to use the bathroom, like I feel like I can't use the guys' room because they card you at the door. Like, even though your gender marker on your license is like this big, like I feel like everybody's looked at it, and if I were to go into the bathroom, somebody would call me out and it would just be a disaster. So that makes me not feel okay. Um, Changing your gender on your license is actually a lot easier now. You don't have to go through surgeries. You don't need letters. Um, you don't need a letter, but you have to have your therapist or your doctor sign a gender marker change for your license. So there's that. It doesn't sound as bad when I talk about it, but like when you go through these things every day, it's a hard. um, you know, Realizing like what I have to think about all the time, worrying about if someone's going to call me out, or feeling invalid as a male to a lot of people. It's hard to deal with. So hopefully making these videos, people feel okay coming up to me and asking questions, not inappropriate questions. Like, don't ask me a question that you normally wouldn't ask like a cisgender person. Like, that's not okay. But like, you can ask me like, how are the changes going? Like, how are you dealing with it? What are the changes? Like, are you angry? Are you sad? You know, what can we do to make you feel more comfortable? Or, you know, what do you want to be called? What are your pronouns? You know, you can ask me whatever. I'm open. Like, um, I'll answer your questions as long as they're appropriate. Um, I want you to ask me questions. So I feel like it's like an unspoken of thing, which it shouldn't be. You know, this is who I am. This is what I'm going through, and you know, society has to deal with it too. So you can ask me anything. Um, yeah. So hopefully in next week, maybe the next month, I'll talk about coming out to my family, and to my wife's family, you know, how that is going, because that's still a process. I think it will be a process for a little while, and I'm okay with that, you know. Um, it's small steps, but we're getting there. So, yeah, we'll talk about those things next time.